I said you're coming in already looking aggravated.
Did you get
A very long week.
Did you get it there?
I was listening to Britney Spears. I thought it was kind of funny. They were black. No, that's Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
How you doing? All right, how you doing? They're blasting Britney Spears out there.
Did you sign it?
All right. Starting at 6, we have 101. We should have started, so let's roll.
Well, Dennis isn't ready. Give me a second.
Excuse me, everybody, we're going to start in a second. Excuse me, listen up, please. We're going to be starting in a second. I'm Chief of Police, Mark Antonelli. I'm asking everybody to please put your cell phones on vibrator and turn them off.
Mark?
As you approach the podium and speak when the session is open, I am requesting everybody please be quiet. I understand you want to cheer and do things, but it's important with that person. But if you're talking in the background, you're taking away from the person who's speaking at the podium, because your voices are going to be taken over what the person's trying to say. So please cooperate with us. Everybody will have the opportunity to speak, and just work with me and work with you. I'm not big bullets, right? Just give me a minute, work with me, I'll work with you. Thank you very much.
Well,
Fingers crossed.
you ready? I have a good idea. Are we rolling? This meeting is being held in accordance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, and adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Star Ledger, local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the municipal website. Accordingly, the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied in regards to this meeting. Please stand for the salute to the flag. Roll call.
Mayor Karlovich.
Here.
Councilman Boyle. Here. Councilman Fenestrella.
Here.
Councilwoman Giordano Paserno.
Here.
Councilman Morrow.
Here.
Councilman Piper is present. Councilman Scarice.
Here.
You have quorum.
Okay, I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of May 6, 2026, May 20th, 2026, and the executive session for May 20th, 2026.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Boyle, seconded by Councilwoman Giordano Paserno. Roll call?
Councilman Boyle. Yes. Councilman Fenestrella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Giordano Paserno. Yes. Councilman Morrow.
Yes.
Councilman Scarice.
Yes.
And Councilman Piper will be right back.
Okay. I'd like to move on to the finance report. Councilman Fenestrella. I'm sorry, Morrow. Oh, my God.
It's okay. Light report
Long
tonight,
day.
Mayor. The Finance Committee had met with Ken and a couple of the department heads and Laura last week, I believe it was already. We're working through the capital budget, and it's not done just yet, but we're closing in on it. I think by the next meeting or two, we should have something for the rest of the council.
Okay.
That's it for me tonight.
Thank you, Councilman. Department of Public Works, Councilman Boyle.
Thank you. During May 2026, the department incurred the following time off: 160 short-term disability hours, 120 sick hours, 24 on-the-job injury hours, 152 vacation hours, and 70 personal hours. During May 2026, the department incurred 228.5 hours of overtime, most of which was related to the annual street fair. And the next open Saturday for recycling drop-off will be on June 13th until noon, and the next free bulk drop-off will be June 19th. That's it.
Thank you, Councilman. Department of Public Safety, Councilman Fenestrella.
Thank you, Mayor. The
Just
report,
took me a second.
the May report is as follows. The Kenilworth Police Department responded to 1,459 calls for service, 225 911 calls. There were 145 overtime hours for the month, and the breakdown is as follows: 24 hours of scheduled patrol overtime, 27 hours of dispatch overtime, 2.5 hours of patrol invest, 21.5 hours of SWAT call-out, 2 municipal court, 8 hours of arrive, and 60 hours special detail. Kenilworth Police Department completed 264 hours of training, issued 166 traffic summonses, made 12 arrests for the month. There was 1 sick day and 1 sick occurrence, and 0 on-the-job injuries. Commonwealth Police received 67 flock hot list alerts from the stationary cameras throughout the borough. Message from the chief. Commonwealth Police Department's weekly blotter report, which is posted on social media, has been very well received by the borough residents. Please continue to follow Commonwealth Police Facebook page for current arrests, notifications, and etc. Please notify Commonwealth Police Department to report a complaint or nuisance. We can't help if we don't know about it. And the only other thing this Saturday is the fishing derby at Blackbrook Park. I believe that starts at 8.
Starts at 8 o'clock.
Yep. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman.
Holes in it, 8. You better be there before 8.
Lights.
7:45.
Get there.
All right. Planning and zoning, Councilman Scurries.
Thank you, Mayor. One application for 252 Boulevard subdivision. Compliance documents were not complete. Also, pending Casey residence, 214 North 15th Street, trying to convert a one-family to two-family. That'll be coming before the planning board later this month. The month of May, we had 21 building construction permits applied for, 48 permits issued in May, and 15 received and 14 more issued applications for May. Zoning complaints, 25 North 5th Street, failure to comply with grading. Notice of violation issued, 33 Wilshire, sales from home, notice of violation issued. Code enforcement complaints, 208 North 16th. Property maintenance, notice of violation issued, 577 Passaic. High grass, door knocker was left. 575 North Avenue, property maintenance, high grass again, door knocker left. 210 North 10th, branches falling on neighbor's property, and door knocker left. Residents kindly remind that you do need a permit for dumpsters in the borough of Kenilworth. Application can be found on the borough website under applications and forms in the building department section. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Councilman. Recreation and Fire, Councilman Piper.
Thank you, Mayor. The recreation report for tonight is the summer camp registrations are open to the general public and will be closing on June 20th. This summer's annual swim nights will be on July 15th and August 12th from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. in the Clark Pool. Registrations are now open. The middle school soccer registrations are open, and we are finalizing tryout dates with our coaches. An email will be sent out to all that have registered with the tryout dates, times, and locations. The fire report for last month. During the month of May, the fire department responded to 34 calls, and during these incidents, the fire department traveled 103 miles and utilized 134 man-hours. No rescue squad numbers reported this time. So during the month of May, the fire department and rescue squad completed 49 hours of training, additional man-hours utilized, administrative 257s, stipend 1,302, building maintenance 25, vehicle maintenance 18, rescue squad administrative 19. So the total calls for the month were 34, total miles traveled were 103, and the total man-hours 1,804. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Health, Education, and Welfare, Councilwoman Giordano Paserno.
Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me. For the library, tonight we will be appointing a new library board member. I have not met him, Charles Oliva, but the director made it a point to say everybody calls him Charlie, so I can't wait to meet Charlie. On June 9th, the library will be celebrating the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. The activities start at 6:30 and they're for ages 4 and up. Tween Craft Night is next Friday, June 12th for ages 10 to 16. From 3 to 4, registration is required. And then finally on June 18th, there's a program about the principles of hip hop for ages 4 and up, from starting at 7 p.m. The Social Concerns, the Historical Society, on June 6th, Saturday, there will be a Juneteenth celebration at the Oswald Nitschke House. Light refreshments will be served, and Madam C.J. Walker will be presenting the program. It's $10 for adults, $5 for children. On June 9th, next Tuesday, the American Revolution in Union County at the Kenilworth Library is reiterating what I just said was going on at the library. And on June 11th, there will be a dedication of David Brearley, a commemorative exhibit at David Brearley Middle School, High School at 6:30 p.m. The Health Department, not much to report other than they settled on the health fair on September 19th. And the Board of Education has their next meeting on Monday, June 8th. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Borough Engineer.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I really don't have much to report from last meeting. We're still waiting on public service for the wiring diagrams for the boulevard. We're going to start ramping up the pressure on them. They say they're working on it, but we haven't really seen anything. We're still working to schedule the restriping at the senior center. There's been scheduling problems with that. So we were told this week, now we're being told next week. So we'll follow up on that also. We reported to the county several months ago along the boulevard. There's been some drainage issues where they resurfaced. There's been some ponding at certain intersections. I reported that to them, it was months ago, 3-4 months ago, maybe even longer. And they haven't responded to that, so I'm following up with that. We want to get those addressed because it hasn't been a problem lately because it hasn't rained, but when there's a decent rain, some of those intersections are getting ponding. So we're following up with the county on that. And we just reported to them recently another problem along Michigan Avenue in Monroe. Same problem at that intersection. When they resurfaced, they didn't maintain the gutter line properly. So we're getting ponding there. We reported that to them also. So we're going to have to follow up with them and see what they're going to do. So, and that's all I have.
And you'll check on that walking path at Mario?
It's in the capital budget.
Yeah, well, the mesh is coming up in parts
the
of it.
money for fixing it's in
Oh,
the capital.
Yeah, no,
okay.
that's all. That's all
Okay,
punch
okay.
So they have to fix that before
Okay.
we pay them. So,
Yeah, I know we didn't.
They're
do that, so
aware.
we'll
They're
fix
aware
it
of it.
before we pay them. Yeah,
The
okay,
contractor's aware of it. So
great,
we'll fix it.
okay.
Tony, you mentioned the PSE&G and the power on the boulevard. We spent a lot of money on decorations. It is something I think that the town is very passionate about. When's our drop dead date with PSE&G that if they don't get this done, we're not having decorations across the boulevard this year?
So I mean the sidewalks. Once they start the sidewalks, I mean it'll only be a couple of weeks to finish the job. I mean we have all the way to the cold weather to do the job. I mean we want it done sooner. This has been late.
We have till
right?
November because
Right.
we're going to want the decorations.
Yep,
We wanted this.
and we
done
want
right
it
in-
done at the sidewalks to get done.
Yeah, we wanted them to start right in the spring, but then of course this they came up with
I'm
with
texting
the
them right now.
poll, so we want to get that straightened out. But yeah, they promised us they're working on it. I got to put a little more pressure on them, see what they're doing. Because yeah, we even though we have time, we don't want to spend time. We want it done
It's almost
now.
as if they don't finish it
Yeah.
if they don't start it by the end of the summer, there's a
Yeah.
chance it's not
Yeah.
going to get done in time.
Yeah, it has to get, and the weather,
Yeah, we want it done now. We don't want to wait.
I just
The
had a
contractor's ready to go. I mean, he'll mobilize as soon as we tell him. He was ready to go. We held him
Good.
back because
Okay.
we needed to straighten out the pole situation.
Yep.
So.
all right,
Mayor, if I
thank
could
you.
add to that, I did, if we're discussing the banners across the boulevard, I did speak with PSE&G today. We have a few questions that we need to go back and forth over as far as getting metered service to the banner poles.
Okay, all right,
That just happened this afternoon, so
okay, thank you,
I'll keep you posted.
thank you.
Tony, any update on Fatuta? Because they have residents in the area got a notice from PSNG. Did you know about it now? Is there anything
Yeah, well,
you can add to that?
they came back and did some additional test pits on Fatute, which they did get permits for that. So that was done, with a permit, and they're gonna have to restore the road, repave and restore it back.
Are they putting lines in underground or above ground? You know yet?
They don't know. They're doing exploratory work now. I'm not really 100% sure what they're doing. They really don't have to disclose to us why they're doing the test pits. They just say they're doing them, doing some exploratory work. So, you know, once they have plans to actually do something, we'll know about it, but.
They will tell us.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to know what they're doing. I mean, they're gonna, if they run lines either above ground or underground, they're gonna have to cross borough right-of-ways, and at that point, they're gonna need permission from the town to do that. So right now, all they have pulled a permit for was to do a test pit in the road, or 2 test pits in the road, that was it. They did that, and then they'll restore the road. At some point, if they do have plans for actual improvements, they'll have to notify the town.
How big is the test pit? It looked like they had a backhoe.
Yeah, they're like 3 by 3, 3 foot by 3 foot.
Okay.
So they're not big, but they have to restore the road. I mean, they have to do everything the way we want it, so. But they did get permits for that. It was done correctly.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Borough CFO.
Thank you, Mayor. As Finance Chairman Morrow mentioned, we're working on the capital budget. We're looking to finalize that shortly, and just in the next several weeks, the estimated third quarter tax bills will be going in. That's all I have.
Thank you. Borough Attorney.
Mayor, I have nothing for public counsel.
Okay, is there a need for executive session this evening?
Not from my perspective.
Okay. Thank you. Borough Administrator.
The only thing I have, Mayor, is I did meet with the CFO, his assistant Lisa, and with the department superintendent, Greg, just to go over a couple of, some of our outstanding grants that we just need to tie up and finish drawdowns on. We have another grant that we are looking at, a scope change for. Other than that, that's really all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next for council consideration is the consent agenda consisting of resolutions 26-137 through 26-145. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second?
Motion made by Councilman Fenestrella, seconded by Councilman Morrow.
The other finished row.
The consent agenda has been approved by one motion. All items will be recorded individually and full in the minutes. Councilman Boyle?
Yes.
Councilman Fenestrella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Giordano Paserno?
Yes.
Councilman Morrow?
Yes.
Councilman Piper?
Yes.
Councilman Scurries?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, is there any general business and general comments anyone would like to discuss?
No.
Okay. I'd like a motion to open the floor to the public.
Motion?
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Morrow, seconded by Councilman Piper. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I just wanted to say, if anyone has anything to say for the good and well-being of Kenilworth, please come forward and state your name and address. I know a lot of you are here for the data center. If there's any Kenilworth residents that has any concerns or questions other than that, if you please allow that person to come forward first.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Bob Herbert, 14 North 12th Street. I'd like to say tonight, Mayor, I heard some disturbing things, that your personal business was attacked and threatened, and I feel, as my mayor of Kenilworth, the people, anybody that's in this audience that did that, they should be ashamed of themselves. You guys ran, every one of you ran a campaign, got elected by the majority of the people. This is America, this is the way the system works, right? We're never always going to agree or disagree, but this is our town, this is Kenilworth, right? And I don't think you should be abused that way. We, the people, have a right to disagree with you, or maybe have a dialogue and a debate, and at the end, we may not agree, might be a little upset or satisfied. But again, you and your family to be threatened, totally unacceptable. We need to be better Americans than that, because at the end of the day, we're all neighbors, we're all part of the
That's
community
right.
here. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank
to
you.
Mayor.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. You're welcome. I did put a couple over requests in. I got one today regarding the pilot program. I guess it wasn't, it just said no pilot. So my question is, to the attorney, does it, this data center, did it require a pilot program, or it didn't?
Required, there is no pilot.
There is no pilot, and there's no redevelopment agreement because it wasn't required, or it just didn't get there
The
yet?
redevelopment agreement is not yet executed.
Executed.
There, I think, is some requests related to a pilot, but there's no agreement, and I don't know exactly where or what information or to what extent they may have made any type of inquiry. But the one thing that I can assure you and everyone in this room is that this governing body has made it abundantly clear that there will never be a pilot that does not benefit financially the borough. So if you'll recall, when I was first appointed, there was a pilot that this governing body had questions about, and we actually found some flaws in the process and utilized that to negotiate even a better payment than what was originally discussed. So that's certainly how I perceive my role to be here, and I don't think that there's anything inconsistent with this governing body. I know that they would never consider anything that doesn't financially benefit the borough.
Okay, thank you, and I'm sure, like I said, they don't have an easy job up there, but I know their heart is in the right place. We may not always agree, okay? Or sometimes extreme, maybe not like each other. Can I have one more minute? And it's all positive, please.
I understand that, Bob, but if we give you one more minute, we have to give everyone one
Okay.
more minute.
I
Okay, but
understand.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next. Anyone else?
Okay. Hi, my name is Tyler Rich. I'm 20 years old and I'm a university student from Berkeley Heights, but speaking from the county, I feel that this concerns the entire county, so I showed up today and want to speak my voice. I enjoy spending time outside, and as a student, I hear it constantly, the stigma surrounding AI, telling us not to use it on our schoolwork. Many of my peers make fun of this, justify the use as like, oh, it's just an elective, or it's just helping me with ideas. And when it's put like that, it doesn't sound so bad. But as someone, I see this as a much bigger underlying issue that gets overlooked. As someone who is keen to doing things in nature, like trailblazing and hiking, I feel inclined to protect our environment. The healthier we treat our environment, the healthier we become in turn. And as these massive warehouses pop up in what is seemingly every corner of our country, I see now that this is an objective threat to our environment. Looking at the base function of these data centers alone, they serve to house thousands of servers and computers that run constantly. They emit smoke and create constant irritating noise to run the AI. But to do so, these warehouses must consume vast amounts of water and electricity, our electricity and water. And as a town, as a county, as a community, these behemoths can consume up to 5,000 gallons of water per day in order to cool the servers so they don't overheat. And these companies claim that the water will be used and recycled and unharmed throughout this process, which is seemingly a lie. There's countless videos all over the internet of people who live next to these data centers turning on their sinks to receive the water that is brown, and in some extreme in some extreme cases, no water at all. Forgive me, I'm concerned. That's why I'm a little shaky. Which includes our drinking water and showers. Due to this, the government suggests that people take shorter showers and conserve their water uses. I hope I do not need to explain why this is problematic in our community. The other issue becomes electricity, being that consumed at terrifying rates, which again comes from our community. For example, in Utah, the proposed data center, which is backed by Kevin O'Leary, will consume 9 gigawatts of electricity if built, which is double the state's current electricity use of 4 gigawatts. And regarding that data center, Utah Senate President J. Stewart Adams has already instructed O'Leary to reduce the size by 75%, or they will not follow through with construction. That type of energy is not just bought by billionaires, it is siphoned from our environment and our pockets. And with that, keep in mind that you were all elected to represent the people of Kenilworth, and in this case, the people of Union County and a radius of maybe 20 to 30 miles with an effect of this data center. I hope you all do what is in the best interest of our community and our people, because I am dearly concerned. I was never associated with politics before, and I felt as though I needed to come and make a stand today.
Next person? Anyone else from the public?
Hello, my name is Sophia Payon. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Union County, and I'm a rising junior at Binghamton University. I'm also a little nervous, so I might be shaky as well. Data centers affect 4 important things: energy cost, water consumption, community health, and the environment. Once fully operational, this Kenilworth data center will require 250 megawatts of power. 250 megawatts of power can power up to 250,000 homes. We have already experienced ridiculous power outages in New Jersey. Last June, thousands lost power as temperatures reached 101 degrees. Data centers demand massive amounts of energy, driving up energy costs, which are placed on the residents within the area. How will we deal with future power outages and rising temperatures as data centers consume all of the resources we desperately need? According to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, New Jersey is currently experiencing a drought. After Memorial Day weekend, the current water supply conditions are below norms. Data centers require massive amounts of water to cool it down. This data center will require water that the state of New Jersey does not have. Most data centers use diesel power generators for backup power. Operating these data centers for less than a week, or these generators for less than a week on average, is enough to worsen lung and cardiovascular health for people in the area, and at least 3 premature deaths every year. People in West Virginia reported seeing black smoke, and when the generators are running, soot falls to the ground. Evidently, data centers have a profoundly negative effect on public health. And like everything else, these data centers will have a detrimental impact on the environment, sucking our land dry, polluting the air around it, causing noise pollution, and disturbing ecosystems. This will have a lasting effect on not just this community, but New Jersey as a whole. We want our land to stay green. In 1 year, data centers produce 208 million tons of carbon dioxide, which is about the same amount as Argentina. This amount of energy was produced using about 1.2 trillion gallons of water. This is all expected to double in the next 4 years. If you want to be remembered for something great, cease the construction of this data center that will harm the people and land that you were elected to protect and care for. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else from the public wish to speak?
Robert Antonzak. I've been a resident in Kenilworth for 67 years. I just have 2 easy questions. What is the advantage of this data center to Kenilworth? I hear more disadvantages, but what are the advantages to the data center? What is it giving to Kenilworth? What are the pros? I hear all
Well,
the cons, and what are the pros?
I just want to tell you that most of the things that you're hearing about the data center are not the facts in the data center that's being built in Kenilworth. And it will produce a lot of ratables for our community. There will be a lot of benefits to Kenilworth.
Is it true that we gave them, is it true that the town gave them a tax break for so many years?
That's not true.
So they don't get a tax break for so
They don't
many
get a
years
tax break.
before?
No.
Not
Not from
yet.
us. Not from us. No.
What you're reading about the $250 million tax thing was from the state.
State,
It was
not
a state
New Jersey.
incentive to get the AI companies here. And from my understanding, it's a $50 million tax break over 5 years. And that does
And
not
that's
come
being
from Kenilworth.
challenged right now also. That may not even go through, so.
So all we're really in this for is money, basically.
We have a vacant industrial park that doesn't benefit the town being vacant. We don't have tax revenue coming in from vacant properties. There's more ratables, like the mayor is saying, and what that means is more chances for tax revenue to come from a commercial business on an industrial park. So when we talk about it staying green, it's an industrial park. It isn't
Right, it's never
necessarily a
green.
park. It's not green.
I mean, I see all these apartment buildings going up all over the state. and
Right.
In little towns like Garwood and Cranford, and where are all the single-family homes? We couldn't,
It's an absolute
So the
problem in the state.
single-family homes
Inventory
there?
stays
Yep,
super low,
that's right.
prices stay super high on the homes. It's a big problem going on in our state. Affordability is absolutely an issue, and I think you're nailing it with the single-family homes. We're not building small homes, we're only building large homes or apartment buildings, which suck a massive amount of power and water
That's
usage
correct.
within a very small zone because they're high-density housing operations. So, I mean,
just
we're
kind of-
talking about an industrial park with an industrial operation going in.
I've worked there many years. I
Yeah.
worked construction, so I've been in and out of shearing and for many years, but I appreciate your time. and,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. Victor Gomes from Union Township, here again regarding the CoreWeave AI Data Center project. Over the past several weeks, we have raised concerns about power demand, environmental impacts, infrastructure, capacity, noise, air quality, public health, and long-term effects of this project, the effects that this project have on our community. At the last meeting, residents heard a number of rationalizations and comparisons from you all intended to minimize our concerns about this project. We heard from the members of this council falsehoods about Northern Virginia, irrelevant references to the former Merck property, poorly thought out comparisons to residential apartments, which, by the way, this facility would be equal to about 100,000 of those apartments, and all kinds of other rationalizations that have nothing to do with this project. None of that answered the central question. Has this specific project been independently evaluated, and where is that analysis? Residents have already placed evidence and examples from other communities on the record. Simply dismissing them as falsehoods, which they are not, for the record. They are not falsehoods that we are coming up here with. They are documented incidents from legitimate sources. I understand that you guys might not recognize what that is since you're not providing it to us, but that's what those are. Simply dismissing those concerns or comparing this project to unrelated situations is not a substitute for transparent review and documented facts. The reality is that many basic questions remain unanswered. We did hear one answer about the development agreement apparently not being executed yet, so at least we got one answer here this evening that we hadn't before. Now the next question is, when will it be released to the public, or will you be informing us when it is signed and executed? What approvals have been granted for the construction that's ongoing? What approvals are still outstanding? What's the expected timeline for completion and the operation of this facility? Where's the environmental impact study or any other independent analysis to evaluate the impacts of this project? None of that has been made available publicly. Residents continue to hear that CoreWeave, the applicant, will provide information, but that is not the same thing as independent review. We are not asking for empty assurances from CoreWeave. We want to see evidence. If the council is so certain that this data center is safe for the community and it's based on sound evidence, then it should easily be able to and willing to answer these questions and release the documents and analysis it's relying on. Yet repeatedly, you have chosen to avoid answering these basic questions or providing the evidence that we seek. We deserve to know why. That is the heart of the issue. We are being asked to trust a process that has provided very little transparency and very few concrete answers. The purpose of public participation is not simply to allow residents to speak. It is to make sure concerns are properly examined before decisions become irreversible. So I want to make the following clear for the record, and I have 10 seconds, and I intend to finish this. Residents have repeatedly raised concerns about the potential impacts of this project. Those concerns are being placed on the public record before this project is completed and facility becomes operational. If serious negative impacts occur in the future, not a single one of you sitting up here will be able to say that
Thank you,
residents
sir.
failed to raise these concerns, that the risks were unknown,
Thank you,
or
sir.
that you were not
Your
given the
time's up.
opportunity to
Sir.
investigate them through independent review. I'm going to finish. I would strongly
Thank you,
urge
sir.
each of you to
Well,
consider
fine.
what might happen. To consider what might happen
Sir,
if this
your
project
time is up,
proceeds.
sir. I'm
If this
sorry.
project proceeds without
Well,
adequate review
he's
and the
stopping.
risks and concerns we have repeatedly raised here materialize. Please keep that in mind. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak?
high school student who lives in Roselle Park, and I also have a lot of concerns about the environmental impacts of this data center. First of all, the carbon emissions. Data centers produce massive amounts of carbon dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, and there have been studies shown where it has been known that these particles from these data centers allow development of they expand the development of COPD and asthma in many individuals and have actually caused premature deaths because of it. Let me collect my thoughts.
Sure.
Sorry. And the noise pollution. These data centers can exceed 90 decibels. Permanent hearing damage can occur as low as 82. That is concerning. Anyone who lives within anyone who lives within the range of the data center can literally get permanent hearing damage just from living by it because the noise never stops. The noise is 24/7. The light pollution as well. It disrupts the body's natural sleep cycle, and it is also on 24/7. People will be losing sleep over this. That is concerning, and clearly this has not been thought through in any capacity. And if it were to have precautions taken, we can't know that until it is built, and even then, you can't instill those once it is built. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Early from Union. I have one question. Is our understanding that there's supposed to be a meeting on the 16th where CoreWeave is supposed to address our concerns? How are you going to publicize that so that...
That meeting has, I'm not really sure where that came out to the public, but it shouldn't have yet. We're still working out details about meetings, and we're still working out the details. That's all I can say about it. I'm not really sure. But
in the event that a meeting
right
occurs,
there, you
how
will
do you
you
plan
will
to
be notified.
publicize
It will be announced.
Where?
It depends on who puts the meeting together. So
Well, all the
it will be
communities-
announced.
Yeah, Union County needs to know what's
I understand
going on.
that, ma'am. I just can't speak to that right now. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No transparency.
Well, it's not from me. I just don't know. It's not correct.
Panel. So I have a question. I'm Don Ryan. I am a 26-year Army vet. We just moved here within the last month. My daughter, the only reason I'm here is because my daughter's going to college here, okay? Or else I would have stayed probably in Pennsylvania because I just found out about this data center from some of these lovely people online. My question to you is, what assurance are you going to give us that the electric bills ain't going to go up, the gas bills ain't going to go up, the water consumption ain't going to go up, our bills, okay? And my question to Kenilworth, and I'm sure you have an answer. Obviously, money drives a train, right? So my question to you, Mayor, is what did Kenilworth gain, not necessarily you, but what did Kenilworth gain out of this data center going here? It had to be something.
We're still working out the financial agreement with CoreWeave.
So then my question to the attorney, thank you, Mayor. My question to the attorney, if you can answer this, because I don't know about law. My question is, how does an injunction go in to stop this from being built? Because I know ground was broken, I was told.
Well, I don't give advice to individuals to engage in legal action, so I only represent the governing body.
Okay, so what can Kenilworth do?
However, I must advise you that the electric and the other utilities, this body has no control over that, nor is there any area of law that would permit this body or even the planning board to make decisions based upon, in someone's opinion, them using too much electricity or too much water or something to that effect. you know, there are separation of powers in a government. And there are certain things that a municipality can do and certain things a municipality cannot do. I hear the concerns about noise. I hear the concerns about pollution. All of that's regulated by the state. They have to follow the laws of the state. To think that a data center is going to be producing more air pollution than an automobile factory is not realistic. However, they're subject to the same rules. So they're, again, and by the same level of government, right? The state of New Jersey regulates that. We don't have jurisdiction to regulate that. We're preempted from regulating that. So the concerns that are being articulated, I'm not saying that anyone is wrong for maintaining those concerns, but those concerns should be articulated to the appropriate branch of government, which in this case is the state, and it's more particularly the Department of Environmental Protection. So I just wanted to get that out for you as well.
Mayor, may I have a minute because he pretty much took up my time?
I understand that, and that's what happens when you ask a
30
question,
seconds.
but I cannot give you any more time. I'm sorry, because if we do that, we have to give it to everyone,
Just wanna know
okay?
what
Thank you.
everyone's benefit from it.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wish to speak?
Excuse me, is it okay if I just pull this out, just to put this heavy?
Sure, of course.
Hello everyone, my name is Sinette Albana and I live in Union, New Jersey. I hope everyone is having a good night so far. I just wanted to comment on the last meeting, Mayor and Council, May 20th, 2026. Councilman William Moreau referenced Northern Virginia as an example of successful data center expansion, and I quote, "I actually did some research on the data centers and found out that Northern Virginia is the data center capital of the world. There's over 100 hyperscale data centers there right now, over 350 co-gen or co-op or whatever the right word there is. So it's interesting, and I applaud anybody to come to the next meeting telling us what's wrong with Northern Virginia, because I don't actually hear about those sites actually being mentioned," end quote. I have a friend that I met overseas while volunteering with refugee children. She mentioned to me in the past that she was born and raised in Ashburn, Virginia, which is considered part of Northern Virginia. And she said, and I am paraphrasing, not quoting, "The data centers where I live are so bad. I hate them. It gives off noise pollution and they completely ruin the natural landscape as well. It caused wildlife disruption. Ashburn used to have a ton of deer, birds, ducks, and now not so much. I have called my representative about it a couple of times. It's really a shame." So Councilman Moreau framing, "I'm not hearing complaints from Northern Virginia," isn't fully accurate. Those complaints do exist. There is public opposition there. New Jersey does not have to follow every development trend happening across the U.S. We have the advantage to learn from the experiences of other communities to make decisions that serve our interests. I also wanted to address the comments made by Councilman William Moreau that many of the people speaking on this issue are from surrounding towns rather than Kenilworth itself. I find it concerning when language is being used to discredit our opinions and make us feel unwelcomed. We are the same county, environment, and state. We have a right to voice our concerns. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public?
How you guys doing tonight? My name is John Parinello. I've been in this town for about 15 years. And in the last few years, I've been seeing a lot of changes. Our trees are destroyed. They told us for power lines. Well, this kind of all makes sense. Then they told us the poles that they put are about a mile high from Gallopin Hill Road to the corner of Michigan Avenue were for Verizon 5G, which was not true. But this data center, I'd like to ask Mark, as the borough attorney, you mentioned the EPA. Where did this company, AI, get their VOC tax credits for this project? Do you know what a VOC tax credit is?
No.
Okay, I'll give you a real quick hint. If this young lady opened up a pocketbook stand on 14th Avenue, the EPA would be there right away, wonder what oils, what she's using to manufacture her leather bags. Well, you said the EPA is pretty much dissolved in New Jersey, okay? DEP is pretty...
No, it isn't. It's nowhere near.
No, not DEP. You said before.
No, I never used EPA. I said
Okay. Well, the EPA is pretty much dissolved, and they control what gets emitted in the air.
The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection
Correct.
also controls.
Correct. I know. I have quite a bit of experience with that.
Okay.
Okay? But where did this AI company get the resources to buy the tax credits for it to open up a facility of this kind in this town? Because you cannot open anything that emits pollution without tax credits. You have to buy a large company. You'd have to go to GM because they pollute, or Ford. Where is these VOC tax credits coming from? That's a very important question that we need to ask. Another thing, AI,
It's outside our jurisdiction.
Excuse me?
We could ask and we could get an answer,
Yeah,
but it's
that would
outside our
be
jurisdiction.
that would be pretty important because you want to know what kind of chemicals they're letting out in the air.
I'm not saying that it's not important to you
Right.
or to anyone that expresses a concern, but what I'm articulating is that there is a separation of governmental powers.
Sure, I
And with that
understand.
information, there's nothing that this body
Borough
can
could do. I
or the
understand
planning
that.
board could do. So I just don't, you know.
Right, no, I understand that,
Okay.
but as a borough, we should ask these questions. Where are these credits coming to for emit this pollution? And as far as AI, you know what that did to us? Everybody in this room that has kids, they're not gonna have a job. I got 3 friends that work for a company. They got asked to build an AI department. They all got fired from a $120,000 job after 25, 30 years. They're working at Home Depot. They're working at ShopRite, and one moved to Delaware. So for everything that you think this is good for this town, it's going to destroy it. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Chelsea. I'm from Cranford. This is my 4th time here, so you guys clearly know I don't agree with this. What I did want to talk about today is basically, since you guys seem pretty hell-bent on pushing this thing through, what kind of things we can maybe come up with to make the quality of life for people suck less, because it's clear that it's gonna. I want to propose that we have rules, like maybe you guys can come up with some legislation for large-scale generators that go on for prolonged periods of time. I think if towns can ban leaf blowers, that this is something that you could definitely put into place to make it just a bit harder for them to run generators 24 hours a day. I'd like you to put light pollution legislation into place, maybe some type of like environmental lighting or something like they have in Sedona, Arizona. I don't know, something that will make it so that it's not like 12 in the afternoon at 11 p.m. I think that you should also impose an industrial wastewater legislation. I'm not exactly sure what that would look like. Obviously, I'm not in the government. But I do think it's something that you could do to make sure that this whole area doesn't become like disgustingly polluted. I think that you could also institute a groundwater protection plan that requires permitting. This way you can make sure that it's up to the standards of the residents. I also think that since you're still negotiating the finances, maybe you could negotiate a buyout plan for residents nearby who will struggle to sell their homes. And I think those rates should be locked in now before the data center is up and running and no one wants to live there and the property rates plummet. So like anybody living, say maybe like minimally, I would say 2,000 feet away from the data center should be included in the plan, but that's, I feel like being, that's a little too close. You could probably go a little further. I have 52 seconds left. I just wanted to close it out with this quote, this great quote by Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. AI will probably most likely lead to the end of the world, but in the meantime, there'll be great companies. So good luck on your ratables. I'm sure it'll be great.
Anyone else?
Good evening, everybody. Hello, all.
Good
How's
evening.
everything going? Welcome out-of-towners that don't live here, especially people from Garwood and Cranford. That Cranford has a data center, believe it or not. Okay, what I'd like to speak about is this brown water issue and groundwater issue.
We just get your name and address,
I'm
please?
sorry, my name is Timmy McConway, and I'm a Kenilworth resident. Okay, I'm also a business agent for State Fairs Local 475, which we are responsible for 1,500 families. And we have, amongst the other people, we have between 500 and 600 people working over there at the CoreWeave data center. We also support the town as far as restaurants and taxable ratables. We actually live here. I don't live in Hamilton. I don't live in Garwood. I don't live in, pick a place, Bayonne, whatever. Okay, we live here, all right? So my point about it is brown water, okay? I just make it as simple as I can. You drove a car here, right? You have a radiator in your car, okay? So the radiator runs on a closed system, all right? So which means glycol or antifreeze, all right? So now, before you left the house, did you put water in your car? Have you ever put water in your car since you bought the car?
You fill up the reservoir all the time.
I'm gonna buy it.
All right. Tim, you have to address us. Tim, you have to address us.
I will, Paul.
Here.
Thank you, I'm sorry. I apologize for that, council people.
Yes.
My point is this. This thing about brown water, there's no brown water. This thing about Blackbrook Park being polluted miles away, not gonna happen. The only issue that may be is the electric. And the governor addressed it the other day with her 4 pillars for AI. Okay, one is transparency, and that's what we all want. Okay, we all want to know what this thing is doing, and what it's going to do, and how it's going to affect us all. Our kids, our property value, all this other kind of stuff that's going on. The other thing is noise mitigation. Okay, I was on Echo Lake Golf Course the other day. I had a meter. It was between 55 and 60 decibels. That is what this place is going to be here.
All right, only one, you can't speak, ma'am, I'm sorry.
All right? Well, excuse me though, but when did you move there?
Tim.
I'm sorry, the Parkway was there for about 50 years. I'm sure you bought the house way after that. Similar to the the shooting range down the other end of town. Okay, the other thing is pollution. There's no pollution, okay? Where's okay. My point being is, this is a positive for the town and the town people. Not the travelers, not the out-of-towners, not anybody that doesn't live in this area. I have issues, I don't have issues. I agree with the people that live on the border, whether it be in Union or Roselle Park. Okay, they have an issue, they're part of this problem. Or part of they can be part of the solution. We all need to work together on this. This is a good thing for the town, good thing for the community, good thing for the restaurants, good thing for everybody. And that's what I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Can we have your name and address, please?
Christine Kenilworth, yeah, I know. I just have a question. What's actually running there right now?
Nothing.
Okay, wait. Nothing. No business.
Well, Merck has a data center that's been running there for 20 years, and they still have it.
Is it active?
It's
What Merck
active,
has?
yes it is.
So is that the smoke that's coming out?
I don't know what smoke
How do we
is
not
coming
know
from
what
there.
that is going into our
I don't
air?
know, but I know that CoreWeave is not operational.
Okay, wait. But there's smoke going up in our air from whatever company, we don't know?
I don't know.
Why?
The
Like what
company
the smoke
Onyx,
is.
it was in the news that they bought the entire plot of land, the whole industrial park
My
from Merck.
question is, what is that
I'm
smoke that
trying
I
to
saw
answer
Well,
last week?
the councilman is trying to
You know,
answer you.
Everybody's coming up here to talk to us and ask questions.
Well,
and
maybe
when
you
we
should
try
have
to
did that
answer,
2 years ago.
This is what happened, so I
But
won't answer.
maybe we should have had this conversation
okay.
2 years ago.
Maybe you could have come to a meeting 2 years ago.
Well, I learned my lesson. You'll be seeing a lot of me.
Okay.
Happy to.
So we don't know what that smoke is.
I
Well,
don't
we
know
were
what
just trying
smoke
to
you're
answer the
talking
question. You
about.
cut us off, so, I mean, what do you want to know?
Okay, my next question is, We took a little ride there. And the security officer came out. And my husband had a little chit chat with him after he tried ripping his phone out of his hand. And he said, my husband said, what, do you want to get cancer? And you know what he said? I already have it. I don't care. It's private property. It's none of your business what's going on here. So I guess he works for Corby?
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know
I have
who
it on
he spoke
video.
to, and I
have
have no
the
idea.
smoke, I got the guard, I got him fighting over a phone, you know, him saying it's none of our business.
Can I just say
Yeah, sure.
that stack that you're saying it's smoke, it's
Yeah.
really steam, and that's been there since shearing plow.
What is it? 'Cause I know
It's just a cooling system for the existing buildings, and that was always there.
So who's
And
paying
that
for that?
always went off, and it has to remain operational. It's like when large factories might have their boiler
Okay.
system and you have to keep them running. You can't shut them on and off like you would your house. So that's been
Okay.
operational since shearing, and the data center, there has been a data center on site since shearing plow.
So
That
who's paying?
Merck updated
Okay.
and renovated.
At least you're
So
answering
there's
me.
always been something on that site operational.
Okay, and my next question is, when something does get into our water, or there's a fire, do we have a game plan? Because we don't get any other answers.
Our fire department has
Respond.
routinely, since shearing
Mhm.
plow, made
Yeah.
provisions for anything that ever would happen on there, as does our police department.
Yeah, but this is a different animal.
Exactly,
This
and
is-
as the.
and they're volunteer.
And you're right, as the property develops, our fire and police department
You
will
know, we
become
can't
more
expect
robust.
They're
Okay.
volunteer.
Anyone else?
We should have a plan.
We do.
Dude.
Hi, I'm from Kenilworth. I just wanted to address what that gentleman was saying about the electric.
Ma'am,
There
I'm sorry,
is
can you say your name?
legislation that went into effect.
What is your name, please?
It doesn't matter, I don't have to say it. I
Okay.
learned that through the past meetings. That the governor did put into effect the first legislation where large data centers using 100 megawatts or more will have to pay at least 85%. Okay? But the other 15% or questionably 20% would fall onto the rest of us. So it helps, but there's still room where our bill may go up. And in reference to what you were saying is you don't have control over what goes on there. In essence, it's already been approved. So no, you did lose control, but before, if there was research further, maybe there would have been a little more talk. But these 4 division of the buildings from the last 3 meetings ago, you have an opportunity to investigate and look at what's gonna go on there, just to make sure, like you would on a home build, do an inspection, like what is targeted to go there, okay? So you do
Inspections
have
will
some
always
control.
occur, as it does with any
No,
construction.
but you can't say you don't have control, because you do, and, you know, you follow through
Well,
and
you're
say
taking
what's
my
going
statement
in
out of
these
context.
buildings.
I didn't say that we couldn't inspect and ensure that construction's gonna
No,
take
but you
place
say
in
you
accordance.
don't have control over what goes on there, in essence, there is a way.
Are you saying today, or are you
to
saying in a
get-
past meeting?
When I was sitting there, when you were
I was
saying-
saying that we cannot control activities based upon the criteria or the issues that you and the other individuals have brought up. We cannot make decisions based upon their electric use.
No, but.
We cannot make
but they're
decisions
gonna-
based upon
They're
pollution.
gonna come out quarterly now, so we'll be more aware, because that's one of the.
We'll be aware of it, but we
Well,
don't
we're still
regulate
gonna-
that, and that's
no,
the
but
point
you
that I was
could've
making.
Investigated further before.
My
approval,
point is
but it's
investigating it
over.
further doesn't give us the ability to impose regulations
Yeah, they
based
could've
upon it.
went to another town.
Anyone else from the public?
I hope you guys can hear me. I'm gonna make this quick because I have 2 kids at home with a newborn and a 4 years old. I'm not from this area. I have to drive 30 minutes with traffic and car jams. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, and I'm just gonna write I had written this because I just made up my own petition. I'm just gonna, it's really all over the place, but you'll get it if you're from New Jersey. I don't know what the other guy's point, the first guy's point was, but I'm glad, because I thought I was late, but I'm glad that people are still here. It means that we're here. And it doesn't matter where you're from in New Jersey. If you're from Kenilworth, it affects us all, and it affects our children. So I had deleted some stuff, but here it goes. It says, my generation never conformed or complied. I'm sorry, give me a second. Never conformed or complied with what we saw were clear control tactics. The spirit of the millennial child with the driven Jersey heart was a force to be reckoned with, and so they tried harder to break us and the generation after us and the next and the next, and so it will be. Now we put our hands up. Our boomer parents are tired and aging, but they can't retire yet, and maybe they never will. Our younger generation, the people of tomorrow, struggle to read on basic levels, controlled by the screen and suffering silently. The chemtrails above our heads have been running every day for decades to purposely get us sick and keep us sick, weak, and disarmed. This process has successfully replaced our natural clouds. The food we buy at our local New Jersey ShopRite and Stop and Shop are selling us overpriced, chemically injected, bioengineered food that is sold even through Family First to produce cancer, and so our children are denied. Our children are denied a healthy childhood. Even when I was a kid, I thought those chemtrails were blimps. That's how naive I was. And this guy's saying, hey, maybe if you come to a meeting, you guys make us naive. You don't let us know. You guys do things as fast as you can so the people don't know about it. So even my children will be denied that too. Today we've let so much slide. AI databases are ravaging the exact homelands that make us who we are as New Jerseyans. Our stinky marshlands, the salty shorelines, the fresh air of our dense forest, all of what we know to love as the Garden State. And the communities we create with our families and our friends are being targeted by big corporations, corrupt lawmakers, and those who do business with them. The sickening, immoral things that we see online. And that's why I came here, because thank goodness for people that were speaking up. People, they feel it, and they're gonna fight for their families. There are people, some people may sit down for it, but there's people that are fighting. So, that's why I came here, because I saw it said June 3rd, and I said I have to be here. Something told me I have to be here, because this is only 30 minutes from where I live. That's gonna affect my family. It doesn't matter. No part of New Jersey. We don't deserve this in New Jersey. That's what makes us who we are as New Jerseyans, our nature, our forests, our oceans.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
Jordan Pano, Union County, New Jersey. I know there was some talk about the explosion from a few people. I actually Oprah'd the message that Councilman Piper received from the fire chief. So I also Oprah'd the formal report. I wasn't given one, but I at least have a text for everybody. Hey Mike, was there an explosion on the CoreWeave site? It was not an explosion. There was a problem with the turbine. It was the existing power plant that has been there forever. It was the equivalent of a car backfiring. Thanks. So, for everybody aware, this is the most information that is accessible about an explosion in front of a site.
Oh, yes, can I answer it?
You're welcome. Thank you so much for that answer and that official report. Does anybody here know what a deep fake is? So it's when you can take a photo of somebody, alter it, edit it, put it on somebody's body for whatever purpose you would like, right? The reason I started any of this is because more than anything in this country, we have an obligation to protect every single child in this country because they are vulnerable and they are innocent, correct? With that being said, they did a study over 11 countries. This year alone, 1.2 million children felt comfortable disclosing being victims of sexually explicit deepfakes created of them on the internet. That is, in a lot of countries, 1 in 25 children. So one kid in every classroom has already become a victim to sexually explicit material created of them on the internet. They did a study with Grok. It's the artificial software through Twitter. I don't have Twitter, whatever. In 3 days, there was over 9 million, I want to get this correct. I believe it was 9 days, there was 3 million. It was a ridiculous number, yeah. So 3 million plus images created of sexualized deepfakes of children and women in 9 days. In the other study that they did through Grok as well, I don't know why Grok is having so many issues with this, but one deepfake abuse image is created per minute of a child or a woman. 98% of all deepfake videos on the internet are sexually explicit and non-consensual. 99% of those are women and children. If we are being told, right, because this is the basis, Mr. Morrow has said AI is the future, right? The way that AI works is it has to be trained by somebody, and that is human beings. Whether it's our research, whether it's our resources, it's being trained from us. So if we are giving an example of no empathy, no protection of children, no protection of women, no community, and no care or regard for human life, how is artificial intelligence going to be in 5 or 10 years? And we already know it is advancing way faster than any of us understand, right? How are we going to stop sexually explicit photos and videos of women and children on the internet without their consent?
Do you think not approving a data center would stop all of
Well,
that?
that's where that's helped.
I would think that's naive. I'm not saying that if you think that way, you're naive. I'm saying that if we would think, you're not up here. If you would think that us not allowing one data center stops the macro things that you're talking about, I wouldn't be able to.
Why
connect
aid
those
in it?
dots. And I have to make this statement. You are all talking about the effect on children. Over a dozen children come from the people up here right now.
So you should care.
I mean, there's a lot of hyperbole going on. There's a lot of research and a lot of TikTok noise telling everybody what we should be listening to. And there are counter studies all over the place. Nobody here wants to actually listen to when we bring them up. But that's fine. I don't think that us preventing one data center stops any of the things that you were talking about. I don't agree with any of the things you're talking about. I think they're vile, and I think they should stop. But us to say that stopping a Kenilworth data center stops what you're bringing up is absolutely naive.
It stops the extension of artificial intelligence, which is how deepfakes are created on the internet. Thank you.
It does not stop that. Anybody thinking that Kenilworth has a power to stop deepfakes on the internet is naive. I appreciate the round of applause.
You guys should be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
What a comment.
Anyone else from the public? Does anyone else like to speak?
I just want to identify before my time starts. He sat there for me when I walked up. I need this noted. So you could you zoom in on his face? Make sure he's in the shot. This creepy little Smurf follows me, takes notes. Maybe it's for you. I don't know. But I just want to identify what Jordan just said. Women being concerned about their safety. What is he doing? He used to be the attorney for this town, yes or no? What is he doing? He didn't do this for anyone else that came up and speak. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did he do this for anybody else?
Can we get your name and address, please?
Oh,
said right. This is her time, right? She's in her time.
Police report. All right, so I am not qualified to talk about AI. I don't want to use AI. I'm not interested. I like a digital clock. I'm like old school. I'm not interested in this. But the amount of research that I did in the past 4.5 weeks, I can't look back. It is so concerning. And it's crazy because I didn't know what I didn't know. And now the amount of stuff that I know, I can't look back. Worrying about loved ones who are in their toddler years, that if they're gonna have a job, if they're gonna make it to high school, OpenAI employees say, they do not expect youth to make it to high school. I said this before, I say it again, it's concerning for all of us. If you got a dozen kids, are they grown up? Are they toddlers? None of my business, don't answer the question, but something to ponder, right? I also wanna know, none of us here, there's a group chat of all, we're all working on this. Nobody supported the protest at your business in Cranford. We all agreed to keep it in Kenilworth, just so you know. No one in this room, nobody in this room, I need you to know that, all right? Nobody supported that in Cranford. We wanna keep it here. I also wanna say, throughout New Jersey, Vineland, New Jersey, those residents are doing their laundry, their white laundry, it comes out brown. In Nutley, New Jersey right now, since June 1st, there is an alert not to use non-essential water. Don't wash your car, don't fill up a pool. in Nutley. In Clifton, there is a boil water advisory as of today. What is going on? I hear you at these AI data centers. You guys are so powerful sitting in those chairs. You can stop so much. And the fact we come week after week, again, we're not paid protesters. We're literal residents. Everybody's taking time away from their families, their friends, their kids to be here and try to let you guys think a different concern versus then what the applicant told you. What the amount of money that's going to be coming into this town. It's insane. There is also, I will email the mayor tomorrow. There's a video in Nutley, New Jersey. They have a data center that was approved of last July. Same thing. No transparency. They have brown glowing water in Nutley. That's going to happen here. And the other thing that's really concerning is the construction workers from CoreWeave. They go into local businesses for their lunch. And you know what they say about us guys? That we're crazy, that we're not going to stop it because it's almost done. Because it's almost done. So the first meeting we came on April 28th when you guys said, no construction, no construction. No. There's plenty of construction. It's almost done. So what more are we to do? If we've been coming here for 4.5 weeks, what more do we do?
I don't know, but I have a family member that lives in Nutley, so I'm gonna have to call because she hasn't.
You want to come?
mentioned
We
this to
could go ahead and take a ride. I don't live in Nutley.
I
You want to
have a
find
friend-
out?
I have a
Go
family
ahead.
member that
That's
lives
fine.
in Nutley.
I will send you the video, and you can send it to her. That's fine.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Madeline from Westfield. I don't live in Kenilworth, but I live within 3 miles of that data center, and those water pipes don't just stop in Kenilworth. The water flows in and out, so we're not segregated from anything that happens here. And the electricity grid is PSE&G giving us our own grid in Westfield versus Kenilworth or Cranford or Union. So we are within the impact radius of anything that happens here in Kenilworth with that data center. So I have a few questions. One is, I had heard there was going to be a meeting with the surrounding towns to discuss what things are happening here in Kenilworth. Has that meeting happened? Is it going to be scheduled, or what the status is? 'Cause
There is not a meeting scheduled at this time. We're still talking about it.
Right, because again, we all, a lot of us are affected because we live so close to where this data center is being built. And my other question is about this redevelopment plan, which is being worked on. Do we get an opportunity to review before it becomes finalized? Because we are
There will
all-
be a public hearing on the redevelopment agreement.
Right, and I don't understand that process. I would have thought that would have been done before any approvals were made for CoreWeave to go forward with this, so I guess it sounds a little backwards to me. So I'm confused about that, the sequence of the process, as well as the financials. I mean, I would think, like, if you buy a car, you want to know the financials up front. You're not going to say, oh, I'll pick up the car and I'll worry about the money later. Unless I misunderstood what you said, it sounds like you're still working on the financials.
There's a lot of moving parts there.
Right, so it's a little upsetting because no one makes a decision not understanding the money aspect of it. So another thing that I don't understand the process about. So the other thing is, I know that within our group, they've opened up a few Oprah requests to get things like environmental impact studies, environmental justice screenings or studies or surveys. So I saw that it was going to be a 2-week extension, so you probably don't know the answer to that, but why is that information not available now? Why is 2 more weeks required for something like that if it's supposed to be already existing? Again, I don't understand your process or whoever created this process, but that just doesn't sound very kosher to me.
I'm not sure I understand your question.
The Oprah request that our group opened to get those environmental impact surveys and the environmental justice screenings, we were told that we'd have to wait till another 2 weeks in order to get that information. So I would
Our
think
borough employees work really hard, and they're not just fulfilling your Oprah request.
Right.
And we're getting a lot of Oprah requests, and they
Right.
are processing them as quickly as they can.
Okay, this is very important, though. Thank you.
Thank you. else from the public?
Hi, my name is Emma, I'm a Union County resident in Garwood. I just wanted to point out, in regards to Councilman Morrow's comment to Jordan, in response to Jordan's, I don't know where she went, what she said about deepfakes and what you said that everyone here is talking about hyperbole. I personally just call that facts. That you say that these things are happening already, so that there's no point in trying to stopping a data center. There's no point in.
That's not what
it's
I
not
said.
going to change anything.
He did not
There
say
are
that.
people-
He didn't say
yes,
that.
you did.
I said it would be naive to think that us saying no to one
Okay.
data center
Okay.
stops the macro movement that you were talking about.
Okay, it's
I didn't say pointless. I said it would be naive to think that way.
okay. No one was saying that it would stop it completely. People were saying there are people in this world, most of the people on this side of things, that want things to change, that want things to get better, and if you can make a change, even if you can't stop it completely, want to make that change, and you guys have the power to not add to the problem and to just say, well, the problem already exists, so I'm not gonna, it's useless to try to do anything about it, it's ridiculous and it's bizarre coming from an elected official. I'm sorry.
I personally believe that you can't hold your hand up to stop a wave, and that's exactly what you have with AI. And for all the high school
No,
kids
it's
and the
not.
college
The
kids
people
and the
who
people
say
early
that,
in their
the people
career,
who say that, this is my time, you're talking over me. The people who say
you
that.
were walking away.
The people, I wasn't, I was picking up my thing.
All right.
The people who say that are the people who financially benefit from it. They have a financial interest in making everybody else think that it is an inevitability.
Okay, now,
Anyone else from the public wishing to speak?
We need the money.
Yeah, please, let somebody else speak.
Stop drinking.
My name is Nancy Tapama. I live at 363 Maplewood Avenue. And I just want to know one question. I was told, I don't know how true it is, at the end of our block, there's a creek. Are you people going to fill it in because AI is supposed to be putting pipes or wires under it?
There's no wires or pipes being put anywhere near there.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
All right. That's all I needed
No.
to know because.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chelsea, and I live right off of Galloping Hill, technically Union, but I've always claimed Kenilworth. I've done a lot of things. I like to go to the smoothie place, yada yada. I think a lot of people have covered everything that I have heard and learned about AI. I was here on the last meeting. I've only been to 2, and actually, per your suggestion, I started signing up for the Kenilworth
Good.
alerts and also the Union alerts, as
Great.
that's technically. What I'm trying to get at is, as a teacher, one of my requirements in college was to always self-reflect. How can I do better? That's what I've been trying to do this whole time. I do want to be a team. I think, from what I'm hearing, if I were to reflect here as a classroom, everyone sounds confused. The residents sound confused. Not that you're confused, but you're confused on what we're saying. We're confused on which information's real, which information's not real, what information you're saying, what information we're not saying. If everyone's confused, there has to be something to mitigate that confusion. And I watched some previous videos from the Kenilworth Borough YouTube channel, and one woman came up and said, like, she's willing to volunteer her time. She's willing to do what she can to make that better. I think there are people here who, I don't like the aggression. I'm a very, peaceful person, but I understand why they are aggressive. When you are confused, you think of like a dog. When they get confused, they get aggressive. There's gotta be people around in Kenilworth, in surrounding towns, who want to help mitigate that confusion. There's gotta be something to really understand what is happening right down the street from a lot of people, Kenilworth or not. And I'm just wondering if there's a plan, if there's an intern you can hire, if there's someone, if there's people that can volunteer, because
We're working on getting a lot more
But
information out to the public.
when will we know? It feels like it's all happening so fast. I saw, like I said, I found out about this through an Instagram comment. I live down the street and I found out that an AI center was being built through an Instagram comment. I can walk in about 2 minutes to that construction site. It has to happen now, just as how quickly all this construction and all this chaos is happening is how quickly we have to put out that fire. Just like you said, with firemen, they can't just show up when they want. Like, it needs to happen now. It needed to happen yesterday, to be honest. And there's people who, go to Seton Hall, go to any school and just ask some political students if they want to volunteer their time to bridge the gap so there isn't so much aggression. Once that confusion is mitigated, people can really speak their voice. You can speak your voice, we can speak their voice, but right now we feel silence, we feel confused, and we feel like we're being stabbed in the back. And I don't feel that way. This is my first time engaging in politics in this way. I'm still young. I want to trust the system. I want to trust you guys. So.
Thank
Hi, my name is Tinu Dovicic. I hail from bordering Springfield, and I have some concerns. As of December 2025, CoreWeave is $21 billion in debt. That's billion with a B in debt. That's the 2022 GDP of all of Ocean County, New Jersey. CoreWeave needs to pay off one Ocean County, New Jersey. 39% of their operating cash flow is spent just paying off interest to that debt. 67% of their revenue comes from one customer, Microsoft. All their eggs are in one basket. CoreWeave works by using NVIDIA manufactured chips to rent out storage space on the cloud, including cloud-based AI. They don't make anything. This is their first data center they're building from scratch. We're the guinea pigs. What would happen if your biggest customer, Microsoft, made a technological breakthrough called Maya 200 that enables them to provide their own cloud-based AI services much more efficiently and cheaply than CoreWeave can? Well, this happened. The test run was several data centers in Des Moines, Iowa, and it was so successful that the data center cluster of Phoenix, Arizona is next. And from there, eventually, everyone will be buying from Microsoft until the next innovation, and so on and so forth. Seems a bit unsustainable for CoreWeave, doesn't it? I'm delivering this information early to you before CoreWeave goes belly up. CoreWeave's very own shareholders are suing them for overpromising. The people who trusted CoreWeave with their life savings are telling you it didn't work out. The people who trust, why would you trust CoreWeave with your life savings in that case? Letting CoreWeave into Kenilworth is the equivalent of putting your life savings into the trusting hands of a gambling addict. I want to point out to two recent examples of AI data center construction, not the final product, just the construction, wrecking the environment and lives of everyday people. One in Morgan County, Georgia, and a new disaster zone in Mason County, West Virginia. Please look those up. The town council of both those places did not anticipate that allowing their data center into their town would draw headlines for all the wrong reasons. You still have time to stop it. But surely it won't happen here. CoreWeave has a closed-loop water system that, according to our mayor, uses zero water and exclusively glycol. Well, according to Oprah, CoreWeave is feeding our mayor talking points. And if you go back and watch the October 15th town council meeting, according to the representative from CoreWeave, water, quote, water will be flowed through the servers and over the chips. The company is feeding the mayor talking points that are not factual in order to appease legitimate concerns from the public. Think about that. They're making fools out of you. Sorry, I lost my place. Oh no, my thing is glitching. Anyway, I also want to address something about the car factory analogy. In the UK, it turned out that the data center companies lied to the whole country, surprise, surprise. And the carbon footprint of the data centers was overestimated, and it was the equivalent of the carbon footprint of 22 million people. That's the size of Australia. So to equate it to car factories is just not accurate. It's the size of everyone in Australia driving a car, everyone in Australia doing everything, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you.
Bobrowski, and I live like 2 seconds from here on 23rd Street. Just want to make 2 comments. One was, there was a mention of we don't know what the state is going to help us with as far as electric and water and, you know, any other expenses that we might incur. Wasn't that part of your due diligence before you applied for that?
We're not going to incur any expenses from this project.
Well,
CoreWeave is
our
100%
electric bill-
responsible
our
to
electric
pay.
bill is supposed to go up. Our
In fact,
electric bill-
CoreWeave is actually putting $150 million to upgrade our grid. They're paying for all of the upgrades.
Who's paying for that?
CoreWeave is paying for that.
Okay.
Mike, that's what you can speak, please.
The second thing I want to make a comment on is, it was sort of alluded to that because out-of-towners were here, it was a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, because all the people that are in the surrounding area and in Union County are as concerned as Kenilworth residents. And I think there's a lot of Kenilworth residents here. So I'm just letting, this is my first Kenilworth Council meeting, and
Welcome.
and my first time I'm in this room, and I was sort of on the fence with this AI thing until I started doing some research. And let me tell you, I'm not happy about doing it. About this data center, it should be out in some boonies somewhere, away from residential areas. I think AI is here to stay. I'm sorry, but I think it is. And that's all I have
Thank
to
you.
really say about
And
it.
not all data centers are created equally.
So show us how this is different.
We will. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Orla. I'm a 70-year resident of Kenilworth. So I want to talk about the soil sampling. The soil sampling was done on Baytude Avenue and Ashwood Avenue, and it was said last time, no one knew why they were doing it.
Right.
Okay. So the reason they're doing it is because they're going to bury electrical cables. Okay? And they needed to know, did they need to put them in concrete or plastic? Okay? And it's going to go through from Baytude and beyond Ashwood.
So what PSE&G told me is that there is no plan for this right now. They are doing research for the possibility of the future, not that this is happening now. That's for the future. That is not something they're doing right now. They are testing the soil, that I'm aware of, and this came right from PSE&G to me, that this is for future exploration of possibly, not that it is ever going to happen. That's what he told me.
Because there's a lot of wildlife in that area.
I know, I'm very concerned, and I did speak to PSE&G about the wildlife that lives there.
Okay,
I
thank
do
you.
know, I care about wildlife.
Hello, my name is Jackson. I'm from Westfield. It took me 5 minutes to get here by car. Mr. Morrow, you said that you believe that the AI thing is like trying to stop a wave with your hand. You can't do it. I don't know how many waves we're going to have if so many of our elected public officials just roll over and die when it comes to standing up against things that destroy our environment. You are all sitting in positions of power where you do have something you can do. And I'm tired of you guys deferring back to separation of powers. And I know there are things that you can and cannot do, but a lot of us are confused and just want answers. And every time it seems that someone asks a question, all you say is, we're working on it. 2 weeks, give it some time. We're working on it. We've talked to PSE&G. What did PSE&G say? What did any of them say? We just want answers. That's all we want. I'm a concerned citizen. I don't want to see the state that I grew up in destroyed just because the sitting officials are all gonna, no, we can't stop it, we can't stop it. Yes, you can. If every single person around the country says, oh, we can't stop it, everybody, the wave's moving, then the wave's not gonna stop. The only way we can stop the wave is by coming together and standing up against some shit like this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jared, can I ask you a question? Oh, he's leaving. I'm just curious if you were as upset that a pharmaceutical plant was there.
Billy.
Beg the question. I'm really curious.
Would you like to speak?
It's a curiosity of mine.
Quiet down, we have someone else trying to speak.
Okay, my name is Barbara Wellnitz. I am from Westfield, and I am deeply concerned about. I'm very concerned about the AI data center. I think you guys are completely ignoring the impact to the environment. Do you remember a few years back when there was the fires in Canada?
Sure do.
We could smell it here. So if you think the pollution from a data center here isn't going to impact me in Westfield, you're delusional. I like to get outside and go for walks. I get asthma if there's pollution in the air. So this impacts me. We're being told we've got to preserve water. I don't believe that this AI data center isn't going to tap into our water. I've done research as well. It's going to impact the noise, it's going to impact light, it's going to impact the water, it's going to impact the flora and fauna. It's going to impact people.
Can I say something about the light? This is an existing building. The lighting is already there. There will be no additional lighting than what is already there. None. And I know you don't want to hear about the water, but once they fill this, they will not be tapping into our water. They will not be tapping in.
Based on what we're seeing in other data centers.
And
that
the
is not
only
reality.
time the generators are going to run is if there's a major power outage. And that will be until it's fixed. They're not running this data center on generators. I do. I do. How many people here have toured a data center and gone inside? Because I have. Okay. Ma'am, I'm sorry. Thank you.
And you say that you don't have the opportunity to make a difference, that you can't control what the state does. You have an opportunity to make a difference for this community, for Union County, for the state. This is the Garden State.
That's your job.
If you
We
keep
understand.
putting in things that destroy the Garden State, then we have no more Garden State. That rests on your shoulders. Use your position of power, the trust that your constituents put in you to do what is best for this community and not just look at the financial impact that apparently isn't even clearly mapped out yet. It seems like this is moving, you're putting the cart before the horse instead of the other way around.
Thank you.
My name is Oni Sinowitz. I live in Cranford, and I did Boy Scouts for a long time, and there were several merit badges where I had to come to town hall meetings, and I know that they're supposed to be empty. So the biggest indicator that you've screwed up is that this room is packed. You know that, but you don't even seem, and none of you seem capable of entertaining the idea that you've messed up in some way, and I think that's ridiculous. I mean, look, I know you're stubborn. That's why the health department had to ban you from calling, and that's why the owner in Belly has a restraining order against you. But you know, you can change your mind.
I didn't hear that. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, the owner of Mbelly, Christo.
The
And his
owner of
restraining order.
what?
Mbelly, the Greek restaurant.
No, it's not true at all.
Yeah, what happened?
It's not true at all.
What are you insinuating?
Yeah, he told me he has a restraining order.
He
because-
does not have a restraining
from
order. It's
who?
not true at all.
From who?
We're
From
friends,
Mayor Carlin.
actually. Oh, that's
okay,
funny.
so this is
I
another
should text him
ugly
right now.
rumor.
Oh
It's
my
another
gosh.
ugly rumor. So
Yes.
if you're going to come here and you want to hear facts
Right.
like you're asking us, get your facts straight.
Right.
Because
For sure.
none of that
Because you know what? That's
happened.
pretty
And
much
that's
libel.
sensationalism.
Yeah.
And that is inappropriate.
And it's absolutely untrue. I am actually friends with him. So wherever you are hearing your information, is not correct. So you should stand
Actually,
corrected
the
there.
fact is, he was upset with the protesters who were scaring
Yes.
his patrons
Yes.
from coming in.
Correct.
I'm
and
sorry, that protest was
so
before they were open.
it had nothing
They were not-
to
there
do
were no
with
patrons.
us. It had to do with the protesters who were blocking a public
That's not what I'm
sidewalk.
talking about.
But you brought it up, and if I didn't address it, that would have been the next rumor. So don't say things that are inappropriate or incorrect. If we're trying to give everybody the facts, and when we have them, we share them. You may not like it, but we're sharing it.
You really
And we
haven't,
are
because it seems like
absolutely
nobody has
concerned
access to any
about
of these, and you keep saying they're on the way, but
What?
nobody has any facts.
Okay.
Everyone's confused.
You know, a lot of people are also confused because there's plenty of people that have put the right information out on social media, and this information is deleted over and over. So there's a lot of people that are filled with a lot of propaganda that don't want to listen to the facts, and I've seen it. Okay.
Right. Well, in any
Go ahead.
event, I've seen nothing but disdain from all of you, so I don't believe you actually do care about this town.
Okay.
And I believe you can change your mind. You can stop this, and you know that, and you know you screwed up because everybody is here. So I don't know why you won't accept that and do something and do your goddamn job. All right?
We are, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Good evening. Jimmy Matthews from Roselle Park. I live
Good evening.
a lot closer to the data center proposed site than probably most of the Kenilworth residents. I'm sure. I'm concerned about this idea that I have heard in these discussions that elected officials, once elected, have license to take action on behalf of the town in accordance with their own personal feelings about various policy issues. That's technically what the public kind of comes to expect, but that's bottom of the barrel democracy. Democracy is really supposed to be about representation, right? A responsible public servant is going to balance their conception, their personal opinions about things with their duty to represent their constituents, which means you have to assess their interests and their values and act on behalf of those. That's the only reason we don't have direct democracy, because the representation is supposed to be through the elected officials. It's not, oh, the only recourse to the public is, well, they'll get voted out. That's not how it's supposed to be. I urge you to consider your responsibility, take it a little more seriously. This is a pretty substantial group of people, and it's truly not just propaganda. Think about it. Do the research. Certainly there's propaganda floating around on all sides, but this is not a situation where, oh, the public is in some kind of mass hysteria. It's really more like history repeating itself over and over, where large national business and international business interests are taking advantage of a small town. And you guys have the power to stop that, like many other speakers here have said, and at least in this small context. Please consider that.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Tommy Sinowitz from Cranford. So many things, but one thing I would like to bring up from the last meeting, Mr. Morrow mentioned at the very end about look at all the data centers in Virginia and tell me what problems they've had. So I did, and what problems do they have? High electricity bills, water usage, all the same things that people are worried about happening here are happening there.
You saw the county tax rate also went down, right, in all the research that you saw?
No, because I wasn't looking at it.
Well, no, it's not all about the money, it's just that there's community benefit from these things. And I will also say that nobody, when you're talking from the phones about the horror stories and the things that, I don't know, are deep fakes or not, good, first time that thought came into my mind, but they're all coming from West Virginia, from Utah, from Georgia. I'm not here in Northern Virginia. They've got...
They closed the data center.
Okay, all right.
There are more hyperscale centers in Northern Virginia than anywhere else in the world, and they have plans for more. And they have the power capacity to do it.
I sent the mayor and you an email after that meeting with some links to valid
I saw the opinion
statewide
pieces that you sent, yes.
things, yeah, and
The
it's not
opinion
crazy
pieces.
people saying that.
Okay, well.
It's people like you that are, well, maybe like you, I don't know. It's people who are concerned about the environment there and do not want those things there. And they got screwed because they got them built anyway. And that's what we're trying to prevent here. So I just really wish, you know, all of you that have a say in any of this, if you feel like you're in over your heads or you made a mistake, maybe you shouldn't have voted for it or whatever. I'm sure you don't make mistakes, but you know.
I don't know why you're all thinking for us, and thank you for that. I'm listening. I appreciate the comment.
In the case that maybe
I've been called. I don't know what the last person said. We were something with a D. I mean, all these words. We're wrong. We're this. We're that. We're
Well, why don't you
volunteers doing
explain
our
to us
jobs.
why
We're
you're
elected
not?
officials that are representing the people of Kenilworth. Are you from Kenilworth? We're representing the people of Kenilworth. There's community benefit for the people of Kenilworth. The gentleman from Cranford would like to talk.
Quiet down. Let him talk.
Let's get
I
to
agree with a lot of that. But I'm just saying, you know, sometimes you go with the crowd or you think, oh, this is a great idea. And then after a while you realize, oh, it's not such a great idea. But if I say I made a mistake or whatever, I'm never going to live it down. I think you guys ought to really look in the mirror and look in your hearts and decide, is this really worth? Because you're not going to, and I hope that you're not going to just get more people from Kenilworth here, but people from everywhere in the state and this county. Because this is like affecting everyone. So that's my say for tonight. Kenilworth, please show up.
Anyone else from the public wishing to speak?
Hi, good evening. My name is Lillian. I just have a question. Mayor, when are you up for re-election?
Next year.
Next year. Mr. Morrow,
Yes?
are you planning to move?
No?
Mayor, are you planning to move?
No.
Councilwoman, are you planning to
Why
move?
are you asking me a personal question?
And if this has to do with the data center. This has to do with the city.
Ask that
Are you
question
planning
and
to
I'll-
move in November? Are you planning to move in November?
I'm not running for office in November.
Okay, so you're leaving here because obviously
Leaving where?
There's a I don't know where you're leaving, but you're leaving.
You
We know
asked,
this.
No,
We know this.
No, you
Okay.
asked me if I was running for office.
I didn't
That's
ask
what
you if you were running
asked.
for office. I said, are you moving?
Why would you ask the mayor and another
asked
councilman?
if you're
Are
moving.
you moving next year?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good.
Are you moving?
It's none of your business.
In November.
It's none of your business.
I
Why
answered
in
you. Why can't you
November?
answer me?
Why in November?
Okay.
What
thank
about
you.
tomorrow? What
you.
about? I've been living here 31 years.
Convenient. Very
31
convenient.
years. I've been living in the same house
Very
on the
convenient.
same
Now
block.
you're moving.
So what are you getting at?
Okay. You want me to? I mean, it's pretty obvious what I'm getting at.
I don't
No,
understand.
it's not
what
obvious
it's
at
not.
all.
Okay.
Maybe it is to you.
All right. Well, you obviously think that we're all idiots, obviously. But
No,
you know
I
what?
never
Just-
said that.
You don't
saying
know
that.
that a lot of people are working behind the scenes. We're getting information. We're getting facts. We're not gonna.
So say
We're
your
not gonna
fact.
stay
State
quiet
your
about
fact,
this. We're gonna
and
keep
I will
coming.
answer your fact.
We're going to keep coming. We're going to keep asking the questions. We are on this. We don't go home and go to
My
sleep and watch
personal
TV.
life has nothing to do with you.
Okay, whatever.
What I do
Okay.
here as a councilwoman,
Yeah.
as I do my
Okay.
job, and I do it well.
So in December
That
we'll check.
is-
In December we'll check what's gonna happen.
Excuse
Okay.
me? I didn't hear what you just said. Give me the opportunity.
No, that's all. That's all I have to say. Those are all my questions.
Thank
Mr. Piper, you were just elected, right? Again? No. Mr. Scoriz?
That's what happens when you're not a Kenilworth resident.
It doesn't matter.
What's going on with it?
Your decisions are affecting my livelihood.
Yeah, but
That's
you're
why I'm
talking
here.
about the elected officials of a town you don't vote in. So
Well,
you're asking the
so the
question
Kenilworth
about
members know. It doesn't matter.
What is your point?
It's a Union County issue, and I can ask all the
So
questions
go
I
to the
want
county
because
meetings.
it's affecting me. I live closer to that
What's your
monstrosity
point of
than
asking
all
Mr.
of
Piper
you.
when he was elected
in Union.
or the councilwoman where she lives? What is the point?
So it's on the record, so we
Let
know.
her speak.
Okay. Mr. Scoriz, when are you up for re-election?
I was reelected, yes, I was.
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one, I'd like a motion to close the floor for public discussion.
How are you? Marcelo. I live in Union. Won't give my address, but I spoke to you guys last time. Hope you guys are doing well.
Thank you.
You guys could just take a deep breath. I'm not going to come at your throats like some people are here. Again, my mother lives like across the street basically from where this data center is going to be. We're not Kenilworth voters, but my favorite Thai restaurant's across the street. I go to the gym and at Golden Phoenix CrossFit. Love the people in Kenilworth. I have a lot of friends. I know the people in the police department that go there and all that. But I hope you just hear us out because I really don't want to be here. Also, like I want to enjoy. This is what days I usually play soccer on Wednesdays. So these are 2 soccer games that I've missed to be here to express my opinion. And what I wanted to say also was that I read a really good book, and I think you guys would appreciate it. It's called "You Have More Influence Than You Think" by Angela Duckworth. I can't remember, maybe someone else, but that kind of comment about when there's a wave of stuff happening and you kind of you could either succumb to the wave, you could raise your hand to it, or you could eat it, right? Like maybe it won't stop it, but you
I ride waves.
Right, yeah, you could ride it, but there's some waves that you don't want to ride, right? Like, I don't know, there's a really good picture. I don't know if you've seen that photo in World War II. In Nazi Germany, there was a sea of people with their hands raised, giving the Nazi salute. And there was one man in that crowd that did not put his hand up. What he could do is tell his grandchildren that he didn't raise his hand amongst a sea of other people. A sea of other people. There is power that you have. That man is like one of us, right? He's just a regular dude. He risked his life, right? And we're talking about it today, all these years later, which is pretty cool. And we're all here. Now, this is kind of like the opposite, right? We are all with our hands down, not to draw a bad, parallel here, but you know what I'm getting at, right? We see you guys on the bad side of history, and we as your constituents or next door neighbors, I'd grab a beer with you if you want. We don't have to be your voters for our opinions to matter because this is an issue that affects us all. And even if it is hogwash, right? What if we're all wrong? The water's going to be fine, and all this is going to be good, and AI is going to be great, and it's going to solve cancer. At the end of the day, it's not your job to make that call. It's your job to listen to us, and we're saying no. And if it's not your voters, it's your neighbors, and I would love to be your friends. If you guys change your mind on this, we'll go grab a beer right after this. But I really, 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 really hope you reconsider this because this is going to affect us all. Thank you.
Thank you.
We can't grab a beer if we don't agree?
Hi, I'm Courtney. I'm currently living in Kenilworth. I was here 2 weeks ago with my son, and I had to leave after he was crying. But I did watch the whole meeting on YouTube. I want to say first, thank you to everyone who's showing up and speaking and standing up for this. You're making me so proud, and I was sitting at my computer clapping So, like, please keep showing up. And, you know, my husband finally got home from work today, and I got here as soon as I could to just kind of follow up a little bit, because during that meeting, I felt like I was looking at, like, human beings. Like, even right now, like, I feel like I'm talking to people who are, like good people, like, who are receptive and, like, want to do the right thing. But then when I hear, like, the way that you respond to people, or just what's not being done after hearing everything that everyone's saying, it makes me feel like, well, are you just swindling, like, people like me who are, like, see the good in people and, like, want to believe that, like, you care, but the actual action to back that up is not like being shown. And so the next night, I saw an article from the Patch that said that the master plan was being halted. So I need a little clarity, because I've heard from people that the master plan has nothing to do with the data center. Is that true?
You have to speak, that's of the planning board, so we're not the governing body for the planning board. They're their own board.
You can
And you
watch
can
their
watch-
meeting on YouTube as well.
Right.
Okay.
That's also televised, so you could see the whole meeting, the dialogue and everything.
Okay, so that was published the night after the meeting that we were all at 2 weeks ago on a Wednesday night. So I assumed, because the gentleman who was quoted, his last name was Paserno, so I'm assuming that's your husband, because I
Yes.
know he's also
It
in
is.
local politics. So he said, he was quoted saying, you know, we heard you, don't think we didn't hear you, I wrote down everything that you said. So, and it was directly about the data centers. So that reassured me, and I said, I knew that I felt that there was, like, genuine people who care and are listening. Like, how could you not listen? I mean, like, this has been going on for months now. So, what does that mean? Like, I know that that's the planning board, but I guess, you know, he's also your
I think
husband.
you should reserve your questions for the next planning board meeting.
Right.
But if you go on the website, everybody's email addresses are there. You can send an email.
And I'll get an email back.
You could also view the entire meeting. They're televised like ours. I mean, recorded like ours.
Before my time is up, I really just want to say, like, if there is anything you do to put any parameters on this project, like, please step in.
We will.
And please.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, anyone else from the public? Bob, you can't come up again. I'm sorry. You can't speak again. Bob, you can't.
Listen, do your homework before you make a statement. Violates my, unless you have a policy in place, which I opened and it wasn't provided, a response was provided, but it didn't state that I'm only allowed once at a meeting. So please don't violate my First Amendment. I have too much respect.
It's Robert's Rules of Order, Robert.
Show me
We're
where
going by.
in the rules of order, in your bylaws, the attorney's supposed to
Do we have that in the
meeting.
bylaws, the
So
Robert's
where is
Rules
it?
of Order?
Where is it in Robert's Rules of Order? Do you have it?
It's in the, is it in the, is it in the bylaws?
It has routinely been the policy from the very beginning of this governing body to have them speak one time, Mayor?
Yes.
And it's a violation of the First Amendment. You can't do that.
Well, no, it's not a violation of the First Amendment.
I researched it. It is.
You could have an unwritten policy as long as it's applied universally.
Right, we're not going to speak multiple times. We're not going to speak.
Because I have respect for you guys.
Thank you, Bob.
Someday, maybe I can win you over and you can give me the same respect.
Thank you, Bob.
I would really appreciate that, but I'll reserve my question for the
Thank
next
you.
meeting. Thank you.
I wasn't going to do this, but Bob, you want to hear everybody come up and speak again?
You address the
Paulette.
mayor or Bob Herbert? Because if you
All
are, I'll ask you.
right.
Address the council.
Okay, my name is Paulette Trogan. I live in Kenilworth. I just want to thank all the mayor and all of the council that have to put up with all this stuff. And believe me, they don't make a lot of money, so they should be making a lot more than they do. To put up with this, I appreciate it. I'm shocked at the abuse and disrespect that is coming from most of these people. Again?
Excuse me, she has the floor.
So I just thank you. I know that you're all doing the best you can. If you could stop it, you probably would stop it. I don't think you can stop it. The people bought the property, they're building. It's really out of the mayor and council's hands. Although you can do your restrictions, I would guess. But I thank you. My mayor shouldn't be abused, threatened with her life, and her business picketed because of something that is already done. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Not already done, there's no redevelopment agreement.
Please keep it down, other people are trying to speak. Not kill them.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hi, good evening. My name is
Lie down, please.
Rosa Joseph. I live in Elizabeth. I just want to, again, I'm going to let everyone know that nobody in this group went to picket any business in Cranford. We were not part of that group. Again, we have to say it because it keeps on being brought up. We're very respectful people. We know to bring it here only. We're not going to go to anybody's home. We don't harass anyone. We don't care where you live. We don't care. We are very concerned about this data center because I know the harm it's going to do to our communities. I think people who don't understand, they should do some research. They go online. There's plenty of information about how data centers work and do not work. And again, I respect everybody here. I just hope that you do the right thing for the people in Kenilworth and the surrounding areas because it affects us all. I'm here in Kenilworth more than I am in Elizabeth. I shop here. I don't shop in Elizabeth because it's more convenient. I like the people. I like the environment in Kenilworth. I almost moved here. My sister lived here. So I love this town. So I hate to think of what's going to happen and the damage it's going to do to our children and children's children. And it's time to make a stand and stop this. It's not about political parties, left or right. I'm a Republican. So I can tell you that I'm totally against this. I don't care what Trump says. I don't care if he's pushing this thing. I have a voice and I have my own opinions and I'm not with him. So something right needs to be done about this. We need to stop. If one town says no to this, another town will say no to this, and vice versa. It's going to happen over and over again. We have the power to do this. And again, to the mayor, I'm sorry for what happened to you in Cranford. It was uncalled for. People picketing by the business is incorrect. It's wrong. It's morally wrong, and we should only be doing this here, where it matters and where it belongs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Katie. I've been a Kenilworth resident for 6 years, and we just spent 2 hours talking about all the terrible things that a data AI center is gonna create for our community. Now, Mayor, you mentioned that you've toured a AI center before?
I have.
All right, so I guess you could explain to us how a resident like myself would be able to benefit from this being built.
I mean, you're asking me to have a 20-minute conversation with you.
You have 2 minutes.
I don't have 2 minutes. You have 3 minutes. Okay.
So you're refusing to answer my question.
We have discussed.
You're refusing to answer my question.
Lie down, let her speak.
Okay. We have discussed over and over. We've addressed the water. We've addressed the pollution. We've addressed the electric. But it doesn't nobody wants to hear that. okay?
I would like to hear it. I would love to hear
Uh,
how
okay.
I, as a resident of Kenilworth,
Okay.
will be benefiting from this.
There's no reason not to benefit from it.
Can you
Okay?
please list some?
I stood outside a data center and didn't hear noise, okay? There's data centers online, and there's this hum and this bright light. Well, they're running on generators, full generators, and yeah, there's hum. That is not what's happening here in Kenilworth, okay? They have their own electric grid. They are not tapping into our electric grid at all, okay?
Again,
And
Mayor?
they're not using water. I know, we
may I
have
ask one
said
more
this
question?
over and over. They are not using water. There is also no burn off and no emissions. There's no carbon that's going to be released into the air.
Perfect. Mayor,
That's up to CoreWeave to reduce. CoreWeave needs to release the studies, and they will.
perfect. Thank you for that. Thank you. Can you please list some benefits, please, for a resident like myself?
Tax ratables for one. Do you pay taxes?
Of course.
Well, do you pay
I
taxes?
personally.
Do you pay property taxes?
So to give you then you should understand
Were you at
that.
the last meeting when we talked about how
This
the
is my
budget
first
impact
meeting.
was? Okay,
Okay.
well, we talked about how we went from a $400 a year increase 3 years ago to having this construction being done on site and having the permit fees and the new ratables, and we had a tax increase of under $80 now. And then the county's actually giving some money back to everybody. So
Perfect.
you have a less than
So-
$80 tax increase in the county, in the borough of Kenilworth, when 3-4 years ago we had a, I don't know, $800, $900 tax increase.
Listen,
in the
So
average
you-
household.
you
So when
mean
you
to
talk
tell
about
me
the community
if you
benefit
had-
and the impact on the people who live here.
Sorry, I
that's
have
you had
15
to
seconds.
fund-
Can I just say one more
If
thing?
you had to fund when Merck
So
left,
you're telling
it
me
would
I
cost
should
you
care about a tax
$4,000
break
additional.
when my mother has asthma?
Do you want?
You're
a
telling
floor-
me to care about money.
I want to be
I'm
able to afford
telling
to
you
live
that
here.
there's no emissions from this project, but
Thank
you're
you.
not listening to that.
All
right.
Means nothing.
Why do you keep interrupting everyone? You had time to talk.
All right.
You need
Is
to stop.
anyone else from the public?
Lie down, because someone else wants to speak, come on.
Hi everyone, my name is Farah. I am a resident of Kenilworth. I've lived here since I was 5 years old. I went to Harding Elementary School, I went to David Braley, and I recently graduated college and I work at a pharmaceutical plant actually. So I know you mentioned before to that young gentleman from Westfield, Jackson, how having a pharmaceutical plant was sort of similar to having this data center.
That's
now.
not what I said. I asked him if he was concerned when there was a pharmaceutical plant.
Okay, perfect.
It's a question.
Okay,
All right,
okay.
everybody's
Yeah,
putting
that's
words in our mouths.
Sorry,
We could
sorry.
go back to the tape. This woman over here quoted me for about 4 lines of what I said at the last meeting. You don't do that. You ask us a question or say something and we talk, it keeps running. She made a misstatement. What can I say?
Okay, but you were comparing it sort of. You were trying to ask if he was concerned about either, right?
What's your point?
So I just want to say that I don't know if you've heard of the Big Beautiful Act. There's a lot of different.
The Big Beautiful Act?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, I haven't
for
heard of it.
I would look into it. It's definitely not the same as a pharmaceutical plant. They have to report to the FDA, the EPA. They also they make life-saving medicine. An AI data center doesn't exactly do that, right? Also, CoreWeave, I don't know if you know, but they currently have a federal fraud class action against them. So a lot of your claims that you're saying that you are saying that, CoreWeave hasn't published data yet. I remember there was one town meeting where you said that you got your source from CoreWeave themselves. I don't really trust that because they have currently a class action for fraud against them. So how can we believe that what you're saying is true if you're getting it from CoreWeave?
Listen, I have to rely on the experts, and it isn't just CoreWeave, it's the engineers that are designing the build of this building. And there's reports, and yeah, I rely on those experts because I'm not an engineer, like I think most people in this room probably are not.
I am.
Right? Okay,
Yeah.
so then maybe you can take a look at them. Good for you.
I've not heard of the
especially
pharmaceutical company not using AI, by the way.
Right.
So I have not
I'm not
heard of
saying
that.
that. Yeah,
I have
know.
not heard
Yeah.
of a professional
I'm not
that's
saying
not
that
using
AI in particular is.
I mean, let's not forget that Merck has had a data center running on that property for the last 20-plus years.
And if we're gonna
Okay.
keep getting told what we're saying, we're not gonna talk back. So if that's
No, I
really what
apologize for
everybody wants to
misspeaking.
have
Like, I
happen,
didn't-
that will be the result. Sir, how do you keep screaming out while everybody's talking? Okay, what statement did I lie?
All right, okay. Okay, someone has the floor. Would you like to continue?
No, I apologize for misspeaking. Thank you for clarifying. I just assumed that you were making like a comparison when you were asking him. I just want to clarify that. But yeah, so pharmaceutical plants do have a lot of regulations that AI data centers, since they're relatively new, they don't have as many regulations around them. So I just wanted to say that everyone's concerns are valid, and you don't really see anyone coming here to highly support the data center, right?
We did.
Everyone
We saw
here-
that just before. Everybody booed it.
Thank you.
The gentleman got booed. Yeah, and by the way, those were people who live in Kenilworth, which was very interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Very many, right?
All right, thank you.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Anyone else from the public? Is there anyone else from the public wishing to speak?
My name's Rebecca Davis. I live in Cranford, New Jersey. I didn't prepare any remarks. I just am responding in part to the tenor of the room. And I just want, I have very deep concerns about the data
Mhm.
center. I live very close. I've actually thought maybe I need to move. I have a daughter who is, she's got long COVID. She's got a lot of health issues. And I don't want to expose her to anything more that is going to make things even worse. And I'm just asking you, I know that I feel like a sense that all of the concerns here are being dismissed or often
That's
dismissed.
not true.
I'm just asking you, please, ignore the tenor, ignore the anger, and do what you can to
Absolutely.
consider whether you really have to go through with this. And if you do go through with it, how can you protect the community, the local community? I know I'm not from Kenilworth, but I'm in your community. How can you make sure that we are not going to have problems with water, with air pollution, with all of that? Will there be testing done? Can you make,
We
what
will
kind
make sure
of,
they
what
hold,
kind of
we
things
will
can
hold
you-
them accountable to their agreements. I promise you that.
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
Yes.
We've said this before, but the things that they tell us and they tell the planning board, if they don't live up to it,
Yes.
they have to remediate.
Yes.
You can shake your head no all you want, sir. The gentleman next to you is shaking up and down because he actually works in the
Okay,
field.
anyone else?
It must be remediated.
Wish to speak? All
Okay.
right, okay. All right, let's-
Somebody else coming tonight? Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Marlo. I'm from Union, right behind the data center, I guess.
Lie down, please.
Guys, sorry. Anyway, the data center we know is already on the property, and CoreWeave brought it, correct, as we all know. We're asking you
The
guys.
data center is not on the property, however, CoreWeave purchased, Merck's data center is on the property.
Okay, but you are
It was
allowing
actually subdivided actually off the campus, but yes, it's still running and exists. Yes.
in the current building.
It is,
In the
there's a
current
lot of,
building, so
there's
the re-
103 acres there, and there's a lot of buildings on there.
Please.
That is, she's asking to, I'm sorry, ma'am, but, go
Okay,
ahead.
so the answer is that what's there is allowed to already have the data center built in it. So what we're asking is the additional sublet where they are going to build more buildings to make the data center a super data center is what we're asking you guys to block on. Start with a data center, let that run. Let's see how much electric it pulls, how much water before you allow
course.
them to build the additional.
There's no application for any additions.
There's the redevelopment plan is the addition, it's in there.
But there's no plan before us or the planning board for an addition to the data center. They're building, there's no application in front of us.
There is
And they're also not the only tenant on the campus. There is a lot of tenants on that campus.
Again, it's an industrial park. It's
Right.
these are the types of operations one would expect at an industrial park. It's not a park where we go to play. It's an industrial park. It's a place where
It's an
business and
industrial piece of
Like
manufacturing.
what they
property.
have in Cranford, they call it an industrial park, and it's all either manufacturing,
And there's a data center there
There's a
too.
data center in Cranford. And I heard that the
There is one there,
Anheuser-Busch
too.
factory is also becoming a data
Correct.
center off of 1 and 9.
There's a
Okay.
lot
So
of data
that's
centers.
right in Elizabeth.
Okay.
or
All right, let's,
No,
let
that's
her
great. We
talk.
just don't want a super data center.
Okay.
That's what we're asking you.
Well, that's what I heard they're
Okay.
building over there.
Thank you. All right.
I don't know, maybe it hasn't hit TikTok yet.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
You may have said it before, but could you say it again? What's the benefit of having the data center?
We have said it many times, ma'am, many times.
Yes.
There's a
And
huge
could you do
rateable
it
benefit
one more
to
time
Kenilworth.
for the
There you go.
audience?
A huge rateable benefit to Kenilworth.
I'm sorry.
Vibrancy of an
Yeah,
economic area
absolutely.
that we have deemed in need of redevelopment.
Okay.
You don't need to see economic vibrancy. It becomes something that the community benefits from in the taxes and the community at large in the operations that are going on there. We're all using AI, whether we like it or not. I don't want to even get into that. It has its benefits on society. So, I mean, we could talk about the national security benefits that it would bring to Kenilworth even. I mean, there's a host of things that having a center like this in town would bring. We're getting told no and spoken over every time we say it, so maybe that's why when we speak, it's not being heard. But the tax ratables are a huge
Right.
benefit to us, and the economic vibrancy of an area that this council has deemed in need of redevelopment is also good. We saw that property vacant for way too long. We saw it as a threat to the taxpayers in Kenilworth for way too long. And I think that this is actually a good thing to see businesses moving in to what was a
Correct.
vacant piece of property. So that's the benefits, at least the way that I'm seeing them. And you know, fair, you say it every time we have a meeting, I'm the chairman of the finance committee. So that's the lens that I want to look at this through. I'm also a Kenilworth resident, and I do want to see a vibrant economic community in the place that I live. I don't want to see blight. I don't
No.
want to see empty buildings. I don't want to have to hear.
And listen,
How
Merca,
do you know
the Merc.
where I travel? I go to 5 Points all the time. I'm passing by it. the
All right,
entire
okay,
time.
okay, all right.
That's
all right.
fine. Why am I even talking
All
to
right,
you?
let's
You need to
stop.
stop interrupting the people that we are talking to, because you asked a very good question. And I liked the way that you did ask it. You were humble in it. You were soft-spoken. The gentleman over there, Marcus, I believe, Marcelo, I forgot what your name was, I'm sorry. You guys are asking questions the right way. You're not coming at us. We're able to have a conversation, and I'm sorry to use your time, but I want to thank you for the way that you approached this, and everybody else that
Right.
did the same thing. Thank you.
Thank you. We gotta start getting these people out of here.
She has
Quiet
another.
down, please.
Yeah.
She still has she has 40 seconds. Quiet down.
You may have answered this already, but for the old lady, are they going to pay taxes right off the bat, or is it going to be 10 years from?
They're gonna
No,
pay
they're paying
taxes
taxes.
right off the
They're
bat.
paying now.
Right
A
off
lot of
right now.
taxes.
They own the property,
Are
they're
they
paying
getting
taxes.
Yeah.
huge discount on tax?
We are
None.
not giving them any discount.
No
What-
discount.
What the
No.
rumors that everybody's
Quiet
hearing
down.
about was a state-driven economic benefit for them, not from Kenilworth, not even from
Correct.
Union County. You're welcome.
Anyone else from the public wish to speak? All right. Seeing no one, I'd like a motion to close the floor for public discussion.
Thank you, everybody, for cooperating.
Can someone second it?
Appreciate you coming down and listening to us.
Oh, motion made by Councilman Piper, seconded by Councilman Sharif. All right. You know, there's been a lot of conversation about how we got here. And I want to address some of that so that, you know, we weren't transparent or that this just popped up. It didn't just pop up. And I want to assure everyone that the council and I remain committed to ensuring that CoreWeave is held accountable throughout the remainder of this process As Kenilworth residents, we all deserve full transparency, and we believe it's important that everyone continues to have the same information. The land at the former Merck site has been vacant since 2023. The empty property created a significant negative financial impact on our municipal budget, resulting in a significant loss of property tax revenue. I know there's many people concerned here from outside of Kenilworth who want to dictate what should or should not be on that property. But for Kenilworth residents, returning this property to the tax rolls is vital to stabilize our budget for police, fire, municipal services, and our schools. As a result, in early 2024, the borough conducted a study to evaluate potential options for the future of this property. The findings of that study, which were presented at a public hearing 2 years ago on May 15th in 2024, determined that this site met the criteria to be designated as an area in need of redevelopment. This led our council to unanimously adopt a resolution to move forward with this designation. The redevelopment process has remained a topic of public discussion since that time. In September 2024, the council adopted an ordinance to establish a redevelopment framework. The planning board subsequently reviewed several proposals for the vacant land, including from CoreWeave. The approval of CoreWeave's proposal was confirmed by the planning board on May 15, 2025, before being adopted on May 27, 2025. In several planning board and council meetings dating back to January of this year, we have heard comments and concerns from our residents and have engaged in public discussions addressing our community's concerns. While most key approvals have been completed, there's still important steps ahead. Our council must consider the approval of a redevelopment with CoreWeave, and we are continuing to work through that process to ensure that our town and its residents are protected from any potential negative impacts this facility could introduce into our community. As your mayor, my responsibility is to advocate for the residents of Kenilworth and to assure any business, big or small, serves the best interest of our town. I am committed to ensuring any project coming into our town complies with the state's environmental standards and addresses the safety, noise, and traffic concerns we all share. I am equally committed to working collaboratively with our neighboring communities and holding CoreWeave accountable so that we can reach an agreement that strengthens our local economy and minimizes negative impacts on residents' quality of life. As we continue to move forward, our focus will remain on transparency, community engagement, and accountability, ensuring the long-term well-being of our residents remain our highest priority. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, I'd like a motion to adjourn. Motion made by Councilman Morrow, seconded by Councilman Strauss. All right.
That was a great movie. That was a great movie.